It's Friday. It's the end of the week. Vibing out. Let me just get my notes ready. Make sure work-wise, nothing crazy's going on because, again, no free SMR. Don't want to have to run into some crazy work situations and whatnot, and want to be able to, prioritize what I need to prioritize, and in that realm, prioritize the thing that makes me money, which at the moment isn't this podcast. It will be this podcast. I also need to do better at making thumbnails. So, whoa, those are going to be my thumbnails that hopefully I'll pick from. Who knows? And once I get guests on here, then I'll be able to make better thumbnails, because then again, it won't just be me in the thumbnail. It'll be somebody else. Haven't mastered that yet. And yeah, I'm going on a tangent that I'll keep going on. But without further ado, welcome back to the podcast. Late checkout. We're here. Checking out late, checking in early. Who knows? Who cares? We're back. But no, it's Friday. Beautiful Friday. I'm still working on trying to get blackout curtains behind me. Obviously, as you can tell, these aren't, because one thing I've never been super skilled on is lighting. The place that I used to shoot my podcast at was constructed by a friend named Tyler. Shout out to Tyler. Dude is goated in the lights, camera, action department. Knows just very on top of his shit. Knows so much stuff about it. And he didn't do it for me. It was a different podcast studio for different people that I was lucky enough to use, but he made it perfect. So literally all I had to do was learn how to edit audio and stuff, and all I had to do was click a button for the podcast, and it looked phenomenal. We're at an at-home setup. We're just bear with me here. It's going to get better. But no, it's Friday. We're here, end of the week. Been a good week. Been shitty weather, to say the least. It's really been, and I preface this with shitty weather is something that does not bother me in Los Angeles, because again, mind you, I'm from New York, upstate New York at that. So closer to the lakes and shit. And it gets very, very cold. Obviously summers are hot, but we have a good, let's say October, November, December, January, February, March. We have a good 7 months out of the year that are either chilly or cold, downright cold. And so I'm used to bundling up. I'm used to that type of weather. I thrive off of it. I love it. And when, I'm getting a call. God damn it. Work call. One sec. Okay. So that's what that right there. And I know I'm going to cut the phone call out of the podcast, because again, that's not a phone call that's for the podcast, but that shows I had to take a beat because I got a work call and it takes priority. And this podcast doesn't know what I do. Gonna leave it at that, but sorry that I had to cut that off really quick and take that call, but it was important. So we're back. We're back again. And I left off talking about the weather, that LA weather at the moment for the last week and a half has been acting as northeastern weather. I love it. I love it so much. I love being able to wear, don't get me wrong, I love wearing shorts and a t-shirt. I'm not some curmudgeon who's fucking, against summer. I'm not anti-summer. I'm woke summer. But, I'm not against it, but just being hot. I'm a thick-blooded dude, I used to be really fat. Not anymore, but I still got that inside me where it's when it's really, really hot out, I get very uncomfortable. But, no, so that's been the weather recently, and I've been obsessed with it, and that's where the lighting conversation came in, and we're figuring it out. But I do find it funny, especially living in Los Angeles, when it's been bad weather and it's been sprinkling, we've had some rainy days, all this type of stuff, and I'll see these influencers posting TikTok stories, whatever, Snapchats, being oh, I hate it here, it's raining, I wasn't going to move, it's giving this weather, and if I knew it was going to be like this, then I wouldn't come. Do you not remember how the year started in Los Angeles, where literally the entire city was on fire, and you're complaining that it's raining? Do you remember a legitimate two entire communities burned down to start the year? And I saw people posting how they hated that it was raining so much here. How about go tell that to literally the people that lost their house, their school, their favorite coffee shop, their favorite park to walk into. What, bro? It was, and I still see it. Like, I still see so many people talking about it's raining. We need it so badly. Like, what are you? I guess it blows my mind. And again, I'm referencing people who their literal only job is to make a get ready with me. So like. And I'm not hating. Go get your bag. Not hating. I'm sitting here in front of a camera talking to a mic. Not hating on that. But I mean, like, be real. Like, legitimately be real. But no, so that's been the weather recently. And I remember 2 episodes ago, I think, when I said we were at Barney's Beanery and I saw KJ Appa. I'm, like, completing more of a Riverdale arc at the moment where if you want to see, if you're here on vacation or if you live here and you want to see a celebrity in Los Angeles, go to a farmer's market. Simply go to a farmer's market because that's where you're going to see a celebrity, whether it's the Studio City Farmer's Market, Brentwood Farmer's Market, or Silver Lake Farmer's Market, preferably probably Studio City. Because when we've gone, we've seen Kevin from Shameless. We've seen Nathan Scott, James Lafferty from One Tree Hill. I'm trying to think, and then this last time, this goes into the Riverdale of it all. We're walking, and it's crazy how, like, similar they look now, where it was probably, like, 6 months ago, we were on a hike, and I saw Cole Sprouse. I was like, oh, my God. Like, Jughead Jones. Usually people would be like, oh, my God, Cody. I loved Sweet Life, but I'm a Riverdale guy. I was like, oh, my God, Jughead. This is crazy. Didn't want to bother him. He's on a hike. He was with a girl, chilling, whatever, next. And I always kicked myself on that. And I remember I talked about that where when I met KJ App, I was like, I need to say hi. I'm embarrassingly a Riverdale fan. I have to say hello. But lo and behold, we're at the Studio City Farmers Market. We're walking, and I just look up. And clear as day, I'm like, holy shit, I completed the Sprouse twins Circle of Life. I'm seeing Dylan right now. That's cool. And he was with a girl, and they were both like covered up. He wasn't, but just like the girl was kind of covered up, shades on, baggy, whatever. And she had brunette hair. So I was like, oh, that's Barbara Palvin. Like, that's cool. Get to see these two, get to check off the other Sprouse twin off. And then I get home and I look on, I think it was Chicks in the Office that posted it. It was Cole. Like, they looked given. I know they're twins, so give me a break. But over the last 5 or so years, Cole has been like, you know, because of Riverdale, all this other stuff, like semi-long hair, really, really dark, not much facial hair. Dylan has been shorter hair. It's really long now, but like, no, it's short now. Shorter hair, facial hair, stubby, all this type of stuff. And Cole had that like same hair color. They're twins. I get it. But he looked so much like Dylan, which sounds so stupid because they're twins. Obviously, they look together. But you get my point. I was like, oh, I completed not the trifecta, but the bifecta, whatever, of the Sprouse twins. I haven't. Still haven't seen Dylan yet. Would like to meet Dylan. But I saw Cole for a second time. Jughead. I would have said hi at this point, since I said what's up to KJ Appa. But no, if you want to see a celebrity in Los Angeles, just go to, like, truthfully, on a Sunday, go to a farmer's market or a Saturday, one or the other. Go to a farmer's market. Don't go to, everyone thinks like if I walk Rodeo, if I go to this, go to a farmer's market on the weekend. You will absolutely see some form of celebrity. You might not see, you know, Jay-Z and Beyonce and Leonardo DiCaprio walking around, but you'll see some people. I'll be the first to tell you that. But no, the Sprouse one, that goes into, it's funny that it resurfaced of Nick Jonas's comment on the Disney Channel games, how for him, he compared them to Love Island. And it's funny seeing everybody else's reaction to that comment and then give their take on like what it was like. Because it just shows that clearly people live in different worlds based off of what you look like or like the stardom you have. Because going back, Dylan Sprouse went on Chicks in the Office and they told him about this. And he was like, dude, what? Like, we were 14. Like, and you're comparing it to Love Island? Like, that's weird, and that's just not what it was. And I believe that, because don't get me wrong, Sprouse twins are handsome now, but at the time of Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, like, they were just dudes. Like, that's what they were, just dudes. They weren't like, oh, you know, a Zac Efron type, whatever. But fast forward, and Jason Earl was on another podcast, and they brought it up to him, and his comment was the best, where he was like, oh no, like, again, he was way older, but he was like, no, it was literally competitions. Like, I was just sitting here trying to beat these teenagers at shit. But he was like, I'm sure if you're Nick Jonas, the whole world is like, you know, you're like oyster for fucking, basically. Like, that's basically what he said, which is true. And then Emily Osment basically said the same thing, where she was like, no, it was like summer camp, and we got sweaty, played games, and went to go ride rides. And literally, at first, when Nick Jonas came out with the comment, you would have assumed like, oh, clearly everybody was hooking up at, you know, Disney Channel games. But it seemed solidified to people like Nick Jonas, because again, like, he's been a heartthrob literally since he became famous. So of course he's going to have that experience, like, borderline everywhere. Like, when Zac Efron wasn't dating Vanessa Hudgens in that era, I'm sure it was the exact same thing for him. That goes for anyone else who was like a male heartthrob in that Disney era. Sure, literally that's the life they lived. But it was so funny to hear that was a singular feeling. Like, it was not reciprocated from anybody else that attended the Disney Channel games, because everyone's adamantly been like, nope, it was not like that for us whatsoever. It was like summer camp recess that, you know, we played games at and then went to Disney World. But Nick Jonas was like, nah, we were hooking up the whole time. And that just shows, like, the differences of, you know, who you, like, you're Nick Jonas. Of course that's going to be what the Disney Channel games are like for you. But I thought that was funny, because, like, I don't even remember, like, at the times, like, who was dating who. I don't remember if, like, Zac Efron was with Vanessa Hudgens at that time. And even though, like, that was, like, my era when I was growing up, I don't remember tuning into the Disney Channel games like that. Like, don't get me wrong, I loved all the Disney Channel shows, like Sweet Life, Hannah Montana, obviously all the movies from, like, Camp Rock to High School Musical, all those, like, Sunny with a Chance, like, that was my shit. I don't think I ever tuned into the Disney Channel games. I really don't. Like, do I remember how iconic it was getting all those people in one place? Of course. But I don't vividly remember ever watching it, so I can't, like, be that nostalgic over, like, holy shit, because I wasn't, like, watching it like that. But I just thought that was so funny on, like, just the complete differing of experiences when it came to the Disney Channel games. And yeah, but what was I going to say? Sadly, last podcast, I talked about, I figured the Timberwolves were going to, because I was just watching the playoffs last night. I was like, oh, the Timberwolves are probably going to beat the Lakers. Like, I hate that they had to play in the first round, because I'll never root against LeBron, but I love Ant Edwards. They won. Timberwolves beat them 4-1, and Timberwolves are on to the next round. And I get to feel less bad now, because where I hate having a playoffs without LeBron, so that sucks. But now I can adamantly root for Ant Edwards between now and the championship, and to win the championship for the, like, I have a solidified person that I want to win the whole thing. Because again, before I was like, I love LeBron, but I love Ant Edwards. Now it's just like, sadly, LeBron's gone, so Ant Edwards. And he really is just the definition of, like, going to be the face in the league. And, like, because they beat the Lakers, and he decided to do a victory lap, literally, around Staples Center. Like, they won, and he's like, you know what, nah, I'm not going to get in the car to take the team plane. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to walk outside. He's like, I'm just going to walk around Staples Center and just talk to fans and be like, what'd you say? Huh? What? This and that? Aura. That's not, bro, wasn't even aura farming. Like, that was just straight, like, he's got it. And it's funny where Jay Williams was talking on ESPN today when he was like, oh, Jason Tatum has had deep runs in the playoffs. You know, I'm not, why is he not being in contention for this, like, face of the league stuff? Why is it Ant, like, goes far sometimes, but he's just, like, bigger personality? No shit. Like, that's literally what it takes to, like, I know it sounds weird, but, like, that has to be a part of it. Like, you have to have that type of energy to be the face of the league too. Like you have to be really good at the sport, obviously, but B, you have to have that aura. Like truthfully, like you go back to it, obviously Michael Jordan speaks for itself. I don't have to say anything about that. 6 for 6, like second GOAT, but dude was literally just like like Jesus disguised as Michael Jordan. Like that's literally what other NBA GOATs called him. Like the aura was insane. Obviously, greatest basketball shoe of all time. Like, you know what I mean? Like he had all the outside of playing basketball it factors to also be the face of the league, while on top of like winning 6 championships. Then you fast forward and you have your Kobe's and LeBron's, like face of the league energy, because like Kobe, where, you know, he wasn't bubbly and smiley, neither was Mike, but 5 championships and amazing at basketball, but he was a fucking killer. So like, again, that mentality, that vibe, that aura, of course you're going to be like one of the faces of the league. Like that's who you are. Then we go to King James. What bigger celebrity could you have in arguably NBA history than LeBron James? So like, again, face of the league for that long. And like, there's a reason, and I'm sure these people aren't mad about it, but like there's a reason that, you know, your Tim Duncan style people, like who also have 5 championships, like 2 or 3 finals MVPs, like great, like, you know, an extremely, extremely impressive resume, but weren't faces of the league because they just didn't really care. They're like, nah, I'm just going to go out here and ball, which isn't a bad thing. Like they're going out and doing their job. Like also why, again, and I fucking love this guy, but Nikola Jokic will probably not be face of the league. Like he doesn't want it. He doesn't care. Like you look at his interviews, he doesn't want to be there. Like he wants to play basketball and go home to his horses. Like he's not interested in the rest of the stuff. He's like, let me play 50 minutes of basketball and go home. I don't want any of this extra stuff. And that's fine, because that's gotten him 2 MVPs, a finals MVP. Like he doesn't need to be the face of the league. He's going to be just fine. But someone like Ant Edwards, when you watch him play, you watch how he interacts with the OGs, you watch what he's like off the court, aside from having like 100 children. But he's got that personality. Like Jason Tatum is fucking corny. Like, is Jason Tatum extremely good at basketball? Yes. Is his resume great? Yes. Has he won a championship? Yes. Like, not being the face of the league does not mean you are not going to be one of the greats. You're not good at bat. Like, it doesn't mean that. Like, Jason Tatum is already solidified. He's got a championship, got an MVP, got like all this stuff. And again, he still has so many more years, so he'll get more. But he's just not face of the league energy. Like, when Anthony Edwards finally wins that NBA Finals, the quotes and, you know, clips and videos and all this stuff that's going to come out of Anthony Edwards are going to be legendary. They're going to be amazing. I'm probably going to print out a quote. Like, Jason Tatum just stole other people's quotes. Like, that's what I'm getting at. Like, rather you just be Jaylen Brown and just be fucking weird. And like, nah, man. Nah. Or like, channel your inner Missoula and be like, nah, I just thought about death. That's what I did. But I definitely think Ant is like going to be the face of the league. I hope he is. I mean, like, if he keeps doing what he's doing, because I love him. And it was funny because outside Staples Center, I'm never going to call it crypto, outside Staples Center, someone ran up to him and was like, oh, is Boys in the Hood your favorite movie? He goes, nah, Matilda. Which is so funny because he also mentioned Matilda when he was a rookie with Taylor Rooks when she asked him about like his favorite movie. And I guess he's just a really big Matilda fan. So I have to tell Emma that so that she gets on the Anthony Edwards train, because that's one of her favorite movies ever too. And she already got into football heavy. So if she can get into Anthony Edwards, that would be tight. But no, I've came across an issue which I don't know if it's worth talking about because it's not the best look, but it's also kind of just like funny, and I don't know why I do it. And I've done it forever. But when I currently have a job, like mine now, jobs in the past, whatever, and when I'm content in it, I love my job, I don't want to go anywhere, whatever. When I get bored, sometimes I just apply for jobs for no reason whatsoever. I have no want to leave my current job. don't like, there was nothing striking it like, oh, I got to get out of here, I need to start applying. Literally nothing like that. When I get bored and like I'll scroll like, on site and they'll be like, oh, this thing is hiring. I'm like, might as well apply. Come up with a whole thing. Let's do it. I don't know why I do it. I don't know if it's fucked up because, again, I'm not like trying to leave my current workplace at all. But it's just like I can't help myself where I'm like, that just sounds cool. Let me just apply. And I always think nothing's going to come from it. There have been times where stuff has come from it and I've gotten like callback, whatever. And I'm like, oh, shit. What did I get myself into? And I'm a little rascal from time to time. I'll say that. And I don't know why I do it, but I just do. And I can't help myself. And it's fun. So if anyone else on the planet relates to that, let me know. Because I might be the only person, but I guess I have an issue. But that was just my not even new, but that was just my weird confession of shit that I do from time to time. But no, on top of that, after I know I talked at length about Sinners and I'll leave that, but horror movies are so back. Horror movies are so back. And what I mean by that is that first off, Sinners, phenomenal. And then there's other really good previews coming out of awesome horror movies, but one that has garnered everybody's attention, it's called Weapons. And their marketing for this movie has been insane and so uncomfortable. And if you don't like horror movies, then yeah, like I can see why you're like, fuck no. Because they started just releasing fake security cam footage of like children getting up in the middle of the night and like running out of their houses at 2:17 in the morning. And like they were running really weird and being really creepy. And like that's all they released was just like 3 different angles of like kids running in the night and all that type of stuff. And everybody was like, what the fuck is this? Like, what? And then they finally released their trailer, and it looks bomb. And I guess the guy who wrote it, the script sold for like $35 million, and Jordan Peele supposedly lost the bidding war and was so upset that he lost it that he fired his management. Like, that's how much directors wanted this movie and like how clearly good the script and the plot was, because Jordan Peele, one of the better directors in the world right now, for horror specifically, was so mad that he couldn't get this script that he fired his management for not being able to get it for him. So, like, horror is so back. And, like, I forget who is directing it. He directed Barbarian too, which I didn't really mind that. I thought, like, contrary to popular belief, I didn't mind Barbarian. But he's directing it. Like, the preview looks great. I'm sure it's going to be a good movie. I am, however, sad that Jordan Peele isn't getting it, because it would probably be amazing if he did. But he is doing that one new movie of something to do with like a football player who like sells his soul to be good at football. So I think that's going to be interesting. But horror is so back. Movies are back. Netflix CEO, bad time to come out with a quote. Just saying. But yeah, so that's the vibe. And I forget what movie I was just watching where it made me think this, but I have such a toxic trait that I know is toxic, and I know is like I wouldn't say in the wrong for it, but just like I'm stupid for, that when I see people do things, I have such a delusional brain sometimes where I will legitimately talk myself into saying like, oh, if you gave me like 3-4 months of nonstop practice at that, I could do that too. I could do that. Like, when I hear Justin Bieber sing, or when I watch someone play like golf, or I watch someone do like this crazy hobby or something like that, I'll watch it and be like, oh, like I do feel like if I hunkered down and like just focused on just this and only this for like 3 or 4 months, I could do it too. No, the fuck I could not. Like, how dare I even mention myself? How dare I mention myself in those like types of categories with those specific people? Because no, I could not. But I sit there thinking, like, I could do that. You know? Why not? And maybe that's me being stubborn and stupid and a New Yorker that's like, yeah, I could definitely do this shit. Because I grew up around people like that literally thought, like, nah, I could do that shit. Never put any work into it, never even did it, but they would just talk to be like, I could do this shit. So I think that's what I was around, and I think that instilled a toxic trait into me to be like, I could totally do this. And it does annoy me when I'll hear people be like, dude, like, you could do, like, you could go, like, because I'll sit here and I'll be like, oh, like, I would love to do, like, this thing or that thing, but, dude, you can go do it. No, the fuck I can't. Like, I got shit to do. I got to pay my bills. I got to work. I got other shit. I can't just, like, fucking drop something and go, like, don't get me wrong, something like this that I enjoy doing that can be done in an off time, and things that can be done in off time, of course, but, like, people will act like if you got a job or some shit that you can just, like, go do something 24/7 and, like, improve yourself. I'm like, bro, I literally have to, like, you know, work. Like, I have a job I have to do. So, no, I can't just, like, you know, get it done and shit. But I kept seeing these videos nonstop of this viral loaded potato that's coming out of London, a UK, isn't it? And it kept, because Keith Lee reviewed it, and he wasn't disrespectful. He was just like, yeah, these things together aren't really, you know, fitting my fancy. They're not really, like, they're not for me. And as we know, Keith Lee, like, when something's not for him, it's not for him. He's going to tell you in the video. He's not going to sugarcoat it, to my knowledge. Keith Lee, please don't ever become a fraud, because I like you a lot. But what was I going to say? Shit. Oh, it's called Spud Bros in the UK, and it's this place that basically makes these loaded spuds, and it's basically a potato, basically a glorified baked potato. Like, they open up the potato, they put garlic butter in it and swish it around. They put cheese, beans, and tuna fish, and then, like, this like sauce on it. And every time I see it, I'm like, this looks gas. Like, it looks so good. And, like, maybe that's because, like, I like those, like, mush bowls. Like, you know, when you just fucking throw a ton of shit in a bowl, I'm like, give it to me. Give it to me right now. Especially when it's, like, a ton of different tastes. And, like, again, obviously all these things clearly go together and complement each other. It's the whole reason for it. But, like, when I go to Chipotle and I get brown rice and chicken and salsa and sour cream and guac and cheese and, like, mix a ton of shit together into some big mush bowl, it's the greatest thing in the world. Or, like, a chicken pot pie over mashed potatoes and I mix it up into a mush bowl. Or Thanksgiving dinner when I put everything on a plate and then within 10 seconds it magically all just fucking mashes together. I do that on purpose. Like, those things are great. So when I look at that Spud Bro, I'm like, this shit looks gas. Like, I do need to try it. And I was almost able to go to London a month or so ago for work, and literally last second, like 12 hours before we were supposed to go, we got a call being like, hey, not working out anymore. I was like, dude, what? Like, it was devastating. I wanted to go so bad. I want to go to London so bad. I want to go to Europe so bad. Never been. Only been to, like, South America. But I want to go so bad. I'm going to go. I'm manifesting that I'm going to go. But I was so sad. So I want to go to London and try Spud Bros and all the other stuff. Like, I won't be trying. Maybe I will, because, like, I guess it's custom. Obviously, when people come to America, of course, they try barbecue and vapes and, you know, McDonald's and, you know, all this other American shit. So I feel like I do have to, like, be respectful when I go over there and try the standard English breakfast. It just looks garbage. So, like, I don't want to, but it's respect. So I think I have to. But no, I'd like to go there and try the viral Spud Bros, isn't it? But speaking of viral, because I do wonder, I talked about him on the old podcast when his security guard, like, knocked the fuck out of this guy. But I do want to know if Jack Doherty has it in him to not be a piece of shit. Like, I want to know if he does have PR, or if he has people on his team that are trying to, like, strategize not being a piece of shit. Because you look at Jake and Logan Paul, right? And two kids that for a long time acted like pieces of shit. One of them literally got globally canceled. The other was just disliked because he did a lot of piece of shit things. Jake. And as time went on, they just matured and, like, rebranded in a way / just, like, realized, like, oh, this isn't me. Like, I was just doing all, like, I got so caught up in this world. And it wasn't an overnight thing. Like, it took time. Then obviously they both get into boxing, and then they both move, and like it just takes time and shit. And then look at them now. Like I don't even know if I call it a rebrand or just like more maturing and like actually like getting into their real selves, and like they fucking rock. Like two of the best marketers literally on the planet right now, rich as fuck, like doing good. One of them is about to be married and has a kid. The other is just about to be married. Like, so clearly they can do it. And when I look at Jack Doherty, I'm like, is it possible? Because yes, Logan and Jake did some shit. They were annoying, people disliked them, etc. But Jack Doherty just seems like he's just not getting it, like, at all. And when Logan and Jake were doing it, they were like 18, 19, 20, 21. Like, Jack Doherty's kind of hitting that realm right now and not changing whatsoever. I don't think the streaming culture is helping it at all. Because, again, when you're streaming, it's almost the old YouTube format where it's just like, let me do the most wild shit on stream so that it gets clipped and then that goes viral. But he's doing it in the wrong way. Like Kai Cenat is more like, yo, let me stream with like Kyrie Irving or like Young Thug, and that'll be what gets clipped because we'll do fun shit. Jack Doherty's like, let me crash my car and then like be mean to the cameraman who's injured. You know what I mean? Like, it's just crazy. And he just got robbed in LA, which is funny. Like just a couple days ago. And he was on No Jumper, which is a crazy podcast. But he was just like, yeah, I don't. Oh, and then he was on George Janko's podcast, and he was like, yeah, like I want to mature. Like, what do you see from the outside? And of course, George, like who's like a deep thinker, a man of God, you know, all that type of stuff, was just like, no, I can see you changing. I've seen it firsthand, which I will say in his defense, not even defense, but George Janko has in fact seen it firsthand. Like he was with Logan and Jake during those horrible times the entire time. So if there's one person who I would actually randomly like agree with, believe, and look to for guidance on like how do I go about this, I would listen to George because he lived through that with them. But of course George is being like really nice, like, no, like I see you as being one of the people that can get out. And I'm like, I'm not saying that he can't, but I'm just like, how? Like I do truthfully wonder, like, you know, when is he gonna realize like, oh, I'm stupid rich now, I already have a big following, let me just try to like take that following and do something else. Like you don't need to keep doing this piece of shit kind of stuff. And yeah, I just kind of find that funny where I don't know where he goes from there. But sorry, I was just talking to one of our stylists. Yeah, I don't know if he'll really get up from there, but that's just like, you know, where he's at clearly at the moment. Also, it was so funny. This just made me think of it because I just saw it on Twitter. So obviously one of the most famous people in the world, the Rizzler, he got invited to a Thunderbolts premiere, and he dressed as like the red guy, David Harbour. But the Rizzler got invited to the Thunderbolts premiere, and there's this video that went viral of him standing with Julia Dreyfus, and it was, all the comments were so funny because it's so true that like neither of them know who each other are. She absolutely has no idea what the fuck a Rizzler is. He's like 9, so of course he has no idea who she is. And like they're just sitting there taking a picture with each other, like, look at these two people together. They don't know who each other are. Are you kidding me? Do you think she knows who he is? He definitely doesn't know who she is. And that's not like because she's not iconic, because she is, but he's 9. Like he does not know who she is. So it was so funny seeing him at that premiere because like he probably didn't know who most of those people were. He probably was just like, oh, this is a superhero movie. This is cool as shit. Here we are. But what was I going to say? And then I also have to talk, because clearly has been making waves, of Bill Belichick and his girlfriend, as part of my take says it, Jordan. Because clearly he is in a reverse conservatorship at the moment, obviously. And like, you know, who am I to judge? Like it might be needed. Who knows? And she's out here getting the bag because like, you know, somehow she was I think it was a cosmetologist or something like that before she started dating Bill. And with the power of being girl boss, she is now amassed over $8 million in real estate portfolio. Clap to that, girl boss shit. Who knows where the money came from? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter where the money came from. She's being a girl boss. And anyone who's hating on that is hating on that. And she will be the assistant football coach of the UNC Tar Heels, and that's fine. If you don't like that, well, you don't think there should be a woman assistant coach Is that what you're telling me right now? Sounds a lot like toxic masculinity over here. He's just trying to enjoy himself. He's probably a good time. He's probably the crazy one. But it was just absurd seeing that interview. And you know what? She just didn't want that question asked. So, I thought it was respectful for her to be like, you know what? Strike that from the record. Don't ask that question. I'm his manager. And that's how a manager should act. But I do find it hilarious that that's just the dynamic right now, that arguably the most winningest, if not the most winningest coach of all time is currently basically having his whole entire life managed by his girlfriend at the moment, which also, too, aren't we all at some point? Isn't that a point to bring up? Like, aren't most guys managed by their girlfriends in a way? Like, we're stupid. We're guys. We're kind of dumb. So, like, our girlfriends are there to keep organized, keep things aesthetically pleasing. And, we're stupid, so we kind of need that guidance. So, like, is his situation really all that different? Like, she's managing the money. She's here. Like, shout out Jordan. Like, I don't think it's the worst thing ever. But I thought that was just hilarious. But no, I'm actually glad I put some stuff up because it's like really, really sunny. So I think it would have fucked up the lighting even more. But regardless, we're back with another episode. I always appreciate whoever wants to hop on and listen. We're building it brick by brick, piece by piece, because Rome wasn't built in a day. My favorite podcast of all time wasn't built in a day, even though by like 2 or 3 episodes in, part of my take became huge. But you got to build it up. Shout out Part of My Take. I love you guys. If Barstool ever needs another podcast, let me know. Like, I would do it for free if I could just do it from your office. Noted. But regardless, shout out to whoever watches, whether it's 1, 10, 20, 50, 100 people. We're going to keep growing and we're going to keep doing it because I love this shit. I love sitting in my little corner, talking my talk, hearing people out, enjoying the pool. But I enjoy it. Everyone have a great weekend. We're checking out, and until next time, peace.